got some possibly bad news for this Miata, which, you know, it's not entirely a bad thing, I guess. So as you know, this thing died on me when I was at McDonald's. Some starter fluid in there, wanted to start, didn't, figured it was fuel. So I was like, hey, let's check out the fuel pump. It was obviously, well, the filter was shot. I didn't even test the pump, but I replaced it anyway. I replaced the injectors because one of them had a crack down the middle of them. And as you know how the story goes, it still did not start. So I did some more digging. I pulled the spark plugs. I mean, they look a little rich, but they look fairly good. But I gotta show you guys what I found in cylinder 2. If you look down in cylinder 2, that would be water. Now, I'm not sure if it's actually water or if it's coolant. If it's coolant, we're gonna have to take the head off, replace the head gasket again, which in that case, I'm just gonna rebuild this entire motor. There is an open filter on this car. It didn't rain the day that it stopped, but I have driven it in the rain. I see a little bit of carbon buildup on the other piston heads, but cylinder 2 has all that liquid in there. I'm gonna pull the fuel pump relay and crank this thing over. This is gonna be interesting. That also really sucks because I just bought some parts for this car. I got a new steering wheel and a new radiator. Did check the coolant. It was, you know, pretty gunky and dirty brown, but I don't think it was ever flushed from the first time this car blew up. All right, we're gonna make sure this thing's getting powered. Yep, definitely got power. I want to say it has a greenish tint to it, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna wipe all this off, put these spark plugs back in, and see what we can do. Oh boy, that is definitely green. Well, rebuild time for the Miata. I guess this would be a perfect time to explain what my goal actually is with this car, because, you know, otherwise I should just trash this car, right? It's got rust on some body panels. It's got what appears to be a blown motor. I'm gonna actually check the compression on it too, see what it ends up being. But it looks like there is definitely coolant on the cylinder head. So what I actually plan on doing with this car is, I've always wanted to get into some form of motorsport, and the one that's always appealed to me most is drifting. This was gonna be my seat time car, my practice car. But I guess we're gonna have to rebuild that motor for a proper race spec engine. Miatas aren't too pricey either, so we might be able to get pretty good build out of this for a pretty low price. It's not the end of the world, but it is some unfortunate news. Definitely gonna give me a lot of content with this car, for sure. Now let's hope we have better luck with this one. I know you guys really haven't seen a lot of this car, but we're actually gonna start working on this one pretty soon, so. I'm just gonna have to take these right back out to do a compression test, but I'm gonna have to take the whole thing out, so I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Oh. Coolant all down in there. This Miata series just got really interesting. I'm almost tempted to buy a hub for one of the other cars so I can put the wheel that I bought on those cars. It's actually a really nice Volante wheel, but it was like, I don't know, it was like half off, so they were limited release, so I had to get it. If you've noticed a lighting change, it's because it is another day and I now have a compression tester to finish working on the Miata. So we're gonna get the compression on these cylinders, which I know is going to fail because coolant all in the cylinder wall. It also has been a few days between then and now, and I've been thinking on it. I'm still gonna do the compression test, but I might save building the motor for a different day just so we can focus more on the Subaru and get more of that out of the way as possible. I'd like to finish the big stuff on that before I pull this motor and fully build it. However, I do still want to get some seat time in on this car. So what I think we're gonna do is, I'm probably gonna pull all this out, pull the head, and just do a head gasket job. However, this time, instead of using an AutoZone head gasket, I'm probably gonna use a Cometic head gasket, and I might do ARP head studs. But the goal is to pull this head, do a head gasket job, put it back together, and just get some seat time in on the car. And then later on down the road, then we want to try to get some forged internals in this beast. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up for the test. starting to really smell the coolant now. Couldn't smell it before, but now I can. Okay, cylinder 2 looks like it was at about 110. It's not as low as I thought. I mean, it's going down. I guess we'll see what the other cylinders are. So you can see cylinder 1 was like 40. That's really bad. It might just be because the battery's running low, but I don't really believe that all the cylinders have under 50 and cylinder 2 is over 100. I don't really get that. Or it could be like a wet compression test, since there's actually coolant in cylinder 2. Maybe it was higher and they're actually all really low. So regardless, I think it's safe to say that this head gasket is definitely gone. And in conclusion, I think, like I said, I want to get some seat time in this car, so we're going to pull the head, do a Cometic head gasket, and try to get some seat time. But I'm also really excited about this Porsche. I really can't wait to have this Porsche on the road. I'm hoping that this car fares a lot better than the Miata did. But yeah, that's going to conclude this video. Next time you see this car, we will probably be tearing into it. It's going to be fun. It was fun last time. I just didn't have enough experience or the right tools or enough money. I should have all 3 of those things now, so hopefully it'll go a lot smoother. I apologize that I can't have more Miata driving content. Hopefully we don't have to replace the head. This would be the 3rd head. The 2nd one had like a giant crack in the side of it. I don't know, maybe this car's just cursed. Maybe we should rotary swap it. I don't know, not entirely against that. Got this far in the video, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. You can look forward to seeing more of this car soon. But I'm gonna shift my focus more towards the Porsche probably, because I really want to get that car started. And of course, I'll be updating you guys on the Subaru. The BMW is having some electrical issues. I'm gonna try to figure those out first. That car is intended for more as a daily anyway, so. But all right, it's been real. Later.